Hi everyone, today I'll walk you through my solution to question 4, part A of the 2024 AP Computer Science exam. This question involves a path through a 2D array of integers. We are given the location class, which represents a row and column position of the 2D array. Note that the location class has a constructor which takes in the row and column, as well as two methods to return the row and column. The grid path class is the class we will be finishing for this question. We are asked to create two methods for this class, the get, next, loc, and sum path methods. Here we note that the class variable grid as well as preconditions for each method. Part A asks us to write the get, next, loc method, which finds a neighboring location based on a current position. The rules for the method are as follows. The two neighbors we will be considering are the bottom neighbor and the neighbor to the right. If both neighbors exist, meaning they are in bounds, we check the values of each neighbors and the one with the smaller value is returned. We can assume the two neighbors will always have different values. If only one neighbor exists, we immediately return the location of the existing neighbor. We are also given some examples to test our problem. First, we determine the maximum row and maximum column indices by subtracting 1 from the grid's row and column length. Then we set potential neighbor coordinates to make our checks below a little easier and cleaner. We check if the next row exceeds the max index. If so, we can immediately return the right neighbor. If the next column exceeds the max index, we immediately return the bottom neighbor's location. If both neighbors are within bounds, we compare their values and return the smaller one's location. This ensures we're always returning a valid and optimal neighboring location. And that's how get, next, loc works. Next, we'll be covering part B of question 4. Hi again. Let's continue with question 4, part B of the 2024 AP Computer Science exam. Here we are asked to write the sum path method, which involves calculating the sum of all values on a path through the grid. This method must call the get, next, loc method, which we designed in part A, and it ends when the element in the last row and last column of the grid is reached. Here we are given an example grid with a path to help us check our solution. We first start by initializing the sum to 0 and setting the current location. We also grab our max row index and max column index to make things easier below. We then have a loop that continues until we reach the last row and column of the grid. In each iteration, we add the current cell's value to the sum, updating our location using the get, next, loc method and moving to the new location. Once the loop ends, we add the last cell's value and return the total sum. This approach ensures we correctly sum all of the values along the path. If you stuck with us this far, thank you for tuning in as we went through all of the free response questions on the 2024 AP Computer Science exam.